I love you, baby.
Hello guys and welcome back to Some Heat Austin. For you guys today I have the match preview of Austin FC's third match of the season against St. Louis City Soccer Club. The fixture kicks off Saturday night, March 9th, 2024 at 7:30 p.m. Central Time, live from Q2 Stadium. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to make this match, but don't worry, I'll still be making a match review after the game, hopefully a bit more positive one than the last two. But yeah, let's just get right into it. To kick things off, let's take a look at St. Louis City, who made their MLS debut last season, defying all odds and winning the Western Conference, displaying some great football. We can't forget either of our losses to them last season. I know, I don't want to rub salt into our wounds, so I just wanted to get them out of the way first. But let's just remember their first match in MLS history was against us at home at Q2 Stadium. That first game of the 2023 season where that Kip Keller moment happened. And then we had one of, if not our second, worst ever defeats away in St. Louis, the return fixture, losing 6-3 with, I feel like I've said this a lot recently, one of our worst first halves that we've seen from Austin. But moving on from that, just brief, painful history lesson, let's take a look at what we can expect to see from St. Louis on the night. In their last game, they defeated New York City FC 2-0 in a comfortable win, courtesy of goals from Pompeo and Samuel Adeniran. Adeniran will be one to watch from the side on the night, as he's currently their top scorer so far this season. Other players to watch include their midfielder Christopher Durkin, who has been their best player so far this season, as well as their Brazilian left winger Cecilio Pompeo. Their main injury concern is their starting defensive midfielder Njabulo Blom, if I pronounced that correctly, one of their best players. Now, moving on to Austin FC, let's take a look at our own injury list. It has been announced that center back Brendan Hines-Ike will be back available for Austin, and Josh Wolff after being out for the first two games of the season due to family reasons. We will have to wait and see if he makes the bench for the match. Two players who won't be available for the match yet, and maybe for a couple more games, certainly Leo Väisänen. The Finnish defender is still out with his foot injury until at least late March, whereas Sebastian Driussi will most likely be out for this match, but according to Wolff, appears to be closer and closer to coming back, with him expected to be back and fully fit in hopefully 2 to 3 weeks. As mentioned, he has been partially training with the team for the last week. Now, moving on to what we can expect to see in terms of the starting lineup from Josh Wolff on the night, I expect it to look something like this. In goal, of course, we will see Brad Stuver. Our number one, without a doubt, will be between the sticks. He was, obviously class against Minnesota and Seattle, and will most likely have his hands full against the fast and, counter-attacking St. Louis side. In our back line, starting on the left, again as predicted in our last two matches, Wolff came out in the press conference and said, quote, "We're trying to get guys fit like Diego Rubio, Jader Obrian, and Biro," end quote. I don't think we'll see the Brazilian start tomorrow, and so we'll see Kolmanic get that start ahead of him once again. In the center of our defense, I don't think we'll see any change either. Cascante and Hedges will start, same with Gallagher on the right. As we saw, our back line had a solid game against Seattle, so I hope it's unchanged. Also because we don't really have a lot of a choice, unless Wolff wants to do something crazy and start Owen on the right like we saw against Minnesota, where he played there for a bit. But again, I think that's very unlikely. In our midfield, again, as we keep saying, they weren't bad against Seattle, and we're kind of light on options, so I don't think it'll be changed, hopefully. Valencia, I think, should definitely start and is our only real undisputed, if you could say, starter in the middle, whereas Danny Pereira and Alex Ring will most likely start as well. But I could definitely see Josh Wolff start Owen for either one of the two. If he does and might, I think Ring will be the one to be dropped. In our front line and rounding off the team, sadly, as we saw against Seattle, the front line was completely ineffective. Not completely because of Rubio and Obrian, but they didn't impress with their chance and start. And as mentioned in that quote by Wolff earlier, with them not being at full fitness, I think they will both be dropped. I think Wolff will start Rigoni, still, yes, sadly, on the left, Zardes down the middle at the 9, and Ethan Finley on the right. Now, with not a lot of optimism from myself and fans alike, with our lineup far from our strongest, no Driussi, no Väisänen, but thinking about it now, I don't think I'll ever be able to predict an Austin FC loss. As possible, as it can be that we can lose on any given night. I think since we'll be back at home and, we had a solid performance bar our offense. If we can create more chances and keep that defensive shape and solidity, I think we can possibly keep a point at home. With that being said, my prediction for this match, I think will be Austin 1, St. Louis City 1. And I'm aware I predicted 2-2 for the last match against Seattle, which is kind of crazy in hindsight, but not really if you think about it. I did get it half right, I guess you could say. I predicted a point. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys for this match preview. Comment down below, guys, what you guys are expecting for the match, what your starting 11 prediction is. If you have a score prediction, leave that down below as well. And once again, I want to thank you guys if you made it this far and for watching. Shout out once again to the recurrent subscribers that I've seen. It just means a lot. And, I really do appreciate that. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you guys did enjoy. And I'll catch y'all on the next one.